forecasts go up from our commentary box window, and it's going to be 15 minutes of racing for the Yokohama Ma7da 7s. It gets underway now. Even start from the two of them on the front row. Reasonable start from Ben Powney as well, although he does get past. But I think that's Martin Farrelly on the way up into Richie's corner for the first time. So we'll see where Ben Powney emerges in all of this. Yeah, he's actually had quite a bad start as he goes up through the gears, down to about 6th or 7th position. So he didn't even start the F1000 race half an hour or so ago, and now he's dropped back at the beginning of the Ma7da 7s.
And it's Danny Andrew, his rival, that leads, but he locks up. Andrew's going wide. Farrelly spins, who gets hit by Jonathan Snetterton. There's another car that's in there that's wiped a wheel off it, I think.
That's Martin Shelton, isn't it, I think? Yes, that's the wheel that's come off his car, so he's now a three-wheeled car. I suspect that might lead to an interruption.
That's right. Ben Powney's back to third because of all of that. Danny Andrew kept the lead, but whether this is all going to matter or not, let's wait and see, because there's a couple of cars stranded at the hairpin. Oh, Litterton's got away, but yeah, there's bits of car in the middle of the road, and there's a car a bit further around the corner.
Quite substantial bits of car as well. So they make their way around Agostini for the first time in this 15-minute race for the Yokohama Ma7da 7s. There's Lewis Penstone Smith, number 47. Towards the rear of the field, but they are heading now down to Hamilton. There is the 35 car, which is that of David Winter from Royston.
I think Martin Shelton is moving again, so I presume a marshal right on the inside of the track might be able to move the bits of car, so we should be able to carry on racing, fingers crossed.
Okay, well that would be very good news indeed. So it is Danny Andrew that leads, David Mason in second, Ben Powney in third. So it's the blue car from the green car, the red car, the orange car, the orange car. Yeah. Confused there because the red flag came out and the race being stopped. So possibly you were a little bit optimistic there with what was going on.
I think I misidentified what car was moving. It was the Litterton car that was moving, but shame that. So the race is stopped, which is a shame, but.
5-second ball is about to be raised. So this penultimate round of the Yokohama Ma7da 7 Championship is about to get underway at the second time of asking. It's David Mason, 43, on pole. It's 27, Danny Andrew alongside him. Better start by Mason that time. Ben Powney gets a better start as well by the looks of it. But it's going to be David Mason that's going to lead up to the first corner. Now, can Ben Powney get ahead of Danny Andrew and up into second position as they turn into which no, he can't. It looks like it's going to be Andrew that holds second then. And Panifer Jonathan Lister's going to join the race from the pit lane as well.
Remarkable.
Yeah, so that's good that any damage is relatively superficial. But the number 80 car of Rob Ollie is not going very far in this race by the looks of it, it would seem.
7 out wider, that's Daniel Court. But Danny Andrew going for the lead here, up the inside of David Mason, into the Palmer left-hander, and I think he's got the lead. So after a poor start initially, where it looked like he might have lost second place, Danny Andrews actually grabbed the lead by turn 3. So that is good going for him. He knows he needs to buy into this gap to Powney as they turn their way then into the Hustini hairpin, where it's pretty tight through here. There's some locking up. That's Barry Stewart, who's gone for Sally. He's trying to gain positions. Didn't work out for him though, he'd run a little bit wide.
So as they head through Hamilton for the first time in this restarted race, it's Danny Andrew then that's got the lead, crucially. What can Ben Powney do? He's in third place at the moment, tucked in behind the green car of David Mason, just ahead of Daniel Sibbins. Martin Falley there into 5th then at the expense of number 7. Daniel Court there having a good scrap. Daniel Sibbins there diving out of the slipstream along the Bentley Straight. He's alongside Ben Powney. And is he going to get the position there? David Mason jinking out from the slipstream of 27 as well, which is race leader Danny Andrew. Sibbins and Powney were side by side as they turned into the corner. Bit further back, you've got number 1, Colin Marshall, and the 55 car, which is Simon Court, that's turning his way through.
Sounds like it's a 10-minute race we're going to get, which makes sense from the previous races.
And Rob Ollie is off the road, but getting back onto it at the moment, wherever he was at the time.
4 for the lead, and Ben Powney trying to come past David Mason here into Murray's. This generally doesn't work, and he clips him, and that's not gone well for Ben Powney, because instead of gaining a place, I think he's going to lose one. He was desperately trying to get out of that, trying not to hit David Mason. It was a smaller touch. Mason's car hasn't really been affected, I don't think, but Danny Andrews got a much, much bigger lead because of it, and someone's getting a black flag by the looks of it.
Yeah, not sure who that is. We'll have to try and keep an eye out to see if we can spot the number that that's being shown to. That's a car that was be asked to report to the clerk of the course immediately. So we'll just see if that's going to be anyone particularly significant in the overall scheme of things. Right, Powney ahead there of Daniel Sibbons, but Sibbons is going to lose a place to Daniel Court there, who was late on the brakes up the inside. Mason's made a mistake on the exit of Wilson Hairpin that time, and now they're all getting together in a massive big bunch. But Danny Andrew, I think, is a few yards up the road.
He is. He's 1.5 seconds at the beginning of the lap. There's yellow flags at Palmer. But for second place, it's Mason and Powney trying to get back ahead of him. These two touched earlier. The pole man Mason's going to lose second place, I think, to Ben Powney. Gets up the inside to go through then, but Powney tries to defend on the exit because he knows David Mason would quite like to come back past him if he can, but he can't make it, I don't think, into the left-handed corner there at Hamilton. Behind them is Daniel Sibbons. So they turn their way then through Augies, but Danny Andrews got a good lead here. So I guess if Ben Powney can't catch Danny Andrew, getting the fastest lap would be good, getting a bonus point.
Yeah, useful, wouldn't it? But there's a bit of a gap to make up at the moment. So Danny Andrew well out in front of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars together. Mason trying to get the place away from Powney as they head along the straight, and he's done it. The Powney immediately jinks back in behind, so he'll pick up the toe and he could get back into second before the end of the straight. Has a dive down the inside into Brundle and Nelson, but he can't make it through there. Almost left the door open for Daniel Sibbons as well. So it's Mason second now in number 43. Ben Powney, number 37, is third. 56, Daniel Sibbons is fourth, and Daniel Court, number 7, in fifth position.
Into Coram. Powney trying to get back past David Mason here up the inside, and he's got it done. So they're battling pretty hard, and I don't think that's really helping them chase after Danny Andrew as they turn into Murray. We should get 3 more laps out of this, I think. And we got, like 7 cars separated by not too much. Well, Andrew's got that little bit of a gap, but then the next lot are sort of in 2 trios of cars. So the cars cross the line to complete 2 laps, and Powney is in fact quicker than Andrew at 2:14.31, by about a tenth quicker. So despite battling with David Mason, he is lapping at good speed initially.
And Jonathan Lister was the recipient of the black flag, and he is now making his way down the pit lane.
Okay. Farrelly alongside Daniel Court, who's having one of his better races here, side by side for 6th position as they head up towards Palmer, which has got yellow flags. So that must be that car that we saw slow in. It must have stopped again. That's Rob Ollie, number 80. I hadn't come through, so I think that's the reason for the yellows there. But Powney has got second again as they turn their way down into the Agostini hairpin. Danny Andrew won last time at Alton Park. We had a big span of Ben Powney wins before that, where Powney won both races at Brands Hatch, Cadwell Park, and the first race at Alton Park. So we'll see how the remainder of today goes. There's David Mason, though, in 3rd position. He's down in 9th in the championship. He's had a couple of podiums this season. We'd like to add to that, but Daniel Sibbons is there behind him as they turn their way through Williams onto the Bentley Straight, where cars really get a good tow, and Ben Powney therefore feels the need to move around, trying to break the tows. Notice there's also rain spots as well around the Snetterton circuit, but nothing, I don't think, that affects things too much at this stage. There's Sibbons, who's going after Powney and Mason, but Ben Powney was able to hang on to P2 in all of that. Behind, Daniel Court's got ahead of David Winter for 5th.
3.5 minutes of the race left to go. Probably going to get a couple more laps at the end of this one then. So they're making their way towards the end of lap 3 now. Ben Powney there in 2nd place with David Mason right behind him. Daniel Sibbons, number 56, in 4th position. They turn their way through the left-hander at Murray's now and onto the centre straight once again. 3.25 minutes left to go, so they're going to get 2 more laps. Over the line now comes Danny Andrew, still well clear in the lead of the race. 1.82 seconds was the gap at the end of the previous lap. That's now gone out to 2.41, so it's taken out another 0.6 of a second that time over the rest of the field. But then the next 4 cars, or 5 cars, separated by 2.2 seconds.
I think things have gone wrong for Martin Farrelly. There's a big puff of smoke out the back of his car, and it sounded all rather rough. So I think he's retiring from the race. A few more spots of rain. There's Farrelly. He's out of it. I think he's got some kind of engine problem, I think, which is the same for him. He was running 7th, and he shall be seen to get that car behind the Armco barrier with a couple of laps to go, with the track potentially this question mark if it's getting a little bit tricky out there. Well, Andrew just set the fastest lap of the race, 2:14.1, which is a 4-point swing if it stays where it is. And of course, Powney's the one that's going to be under pressure, where there's a couple of cars, David Mason and Daniel Sibbons, who aren't far away from him whatsoever.
That fastest lap, though, it's 3 seconds outside the lap record, which is held by Tom Collar in these cars. Mason there over the curve on the exit of Hamilton.
Looks like there's bits of Martin Fowley's engine that are being seen to by the Starline Marshal. So I think it was quite a problem there that Fowley had a lap ago.
One of the back markers having a spin, that's number 3, Callum Barnes. That's at Wilton Hairpin, but he gets back into the race.
So is that a bit tricky down there? And Ben Powney is weaving one side to the other, trying to break the toe from David Mason. He wants to be careful not to do that too much, really, you'd think. But David Mason to the outside line, trying to come past Ben Powney, but Ben Powney's able to do it. He's really vivid here, Ian. Oh, there's a cover off. That's Daniel caught out of 5th. That's ended up off the road at Oggies, I think that is. So that's quite a long way off. But for second, David Mason alongside Ben Powney there into Coram Curve. They come very close there, Ian, but Powney's still in front, but he's got a bit of damage with the mudguard flapping a little bit.
Yeah, it's flapping. That's very much a sort of tradition in this type of racing, isn't it? That you have some wheel arches go flying or flapping in the breeze. So they're going to come through and they'll be starting their final lap this time. Danny Andrew continuing to lead, so this is a great result for him as far as the championship is concerned. The only thing would be better if Ben Powney wasn't in second place. We've got third and fourth side by side now. David Mason and Daniel Sibbons, who sweeps around the outside into Rich's corner to take third place away at the beginning of the final lap. So Sibbons up into third position.
That time's just got a touch on that lap. So for second place, Powney second, with new challenger behind being Daniel Sibbons, but if anything not quite as close as they once were. Behind, David Winter is 5th and Simon Court's now jumped up to 6th with the demise of there. You can see Daniel Court and Martin Farrelly, so not quite sure how Court ended up quite so far off the road there, but he hopefully will be getting back out later. So for third place is where the battle is more now, isn't it? So Ben Powney seems to have a larger gap. And this is going to be, I think, much like the Clios, isn't it, heading into the last round, is where, as long as things stay as they are, Andrew and Powney, whoever does better in the last race of the season, will come out on top.
That's right. And grid set by second fastest times for the second race. So I've not looked at the grid for that actually, but we'll see how that pans out. But they're catching Andrew, I think, a little bit on this final lap, aren't they? Although it's probably going to be inconsequential.
Powney only starts 6th in race 2, so they'll have it all to do while Danny Andrews on pole.
Okay, so you'd certainly be, if you're a betting man, you'd be betting on Danny Andrew, I think, for the Yokohama Ma7da Championship this year. Up to Brundle and Nelson they come.
Daniel Sibbons has caught Powney and he's put him under quite a bit of pressure to end this lap. Down into the S's there, Powney's able to hang on as they make their way out of there. They're pulling away from David Mason, who's in P4, but up towards Coram. And Danny Andrew looks good for the win, but it's to be settled for second. It wouldn't be the first time that someone's been in front into Murray's where they're not leading at the line. So we'll see what happens there, Ian.
Absolutely. I think Danny Andrews is going to be leading at the line, that's for certain. But for second and third, Ben Powney very out of shape at Murray's. Does that cost him momentum as he accelerates away? Daniel Sibbons is going to be in the tow. Danny Andrew takes an important win, but equally important for second place. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Daniel Sibbons that snatches it from Ben Powney at the line by 13/100ths of a second. And that moment at Murray's, that momentum sap, cost Ben Powney. He lost out to Daniel Sibbons in the end. So Sibbons took second, Powney third, Mason fourth, David Winter fifth, Simon Course come across the line in 6th place, and Joshua Platts in 7th. Next car coming across the line should be the number 1 car of Colin Marshall, but no, it's not. It's the 23 car of Samir Abid that comes through next, and then Lewis Pentone Smith. So Colin Marshall on the final lap has dropped back to 10th place. Tom Bates comes across the line to take 11th place in number 69. And then up towards the line comes Barry Stewart, number 44, to take 12th. And then Martin Farrelly takes 13th place. Yes, that was a surprise to me as well. And Callum Barnes, I think, is going to be our final finisher. He's a little bit further back down the order. Oh, he's spun it, though. at Murray's. Can he get the car fired off again? Can he get it moving? And we're just waiting for you now, Callum, because everyone else has finished their race. Yes, you've got it fired up, and you're going to bring it up across the line to complete your race in 14th position. We lost Daniel Court, of course, and Jonathan Lister was black flagged, and we lost Martin Shelton, did we not, on the original start?
So my spreadsheet is saying that Danny Andrew will be leading by 3 points to Ben Powney going into that final race. Yours may say different.
Well, I'll work that out at lunchtime, but yes. but yeah, I mean, that little mistake at the exit of Morris, that could prove costly for Ben Powney in the overall scheme of things. You never quite know in the how things might pan out in the later race. Results time, 2.703 seconds the margin for Danny Andrew, number 27, over number 56, Daniel Sibbons. Number 37, Ben Powney it was that took third. 43, David Mason was fourth. And then another David Winter was fifth in number 35. Sixth, number 55, Simon Court. Seventh, number 20, Joshua Platts. Eighth was 23, Samir Abid. Ninth, number 47, Lewis Penstone Smith. And number 10, number 1, I should say, rounded out the top 10, that was Colin Marshall. Further back, Thomas Bates, Barry Stewart, Martin Fowlerley, who somewhat surprisingly made it back out into the race. And Callum Barnes completed our finishes, with Daniel Court and Jonathan Lister not being classified. So that's the first of 2 races today for the Yokohama Ma7da 7 Championship. In a few minutes' time, we'll have coverage of the Gaz Shocks 116 Trophy practice session, which will decide the good for their 90-minute race, which will round out the afternoon. And then we go into our lunch break, with racing set to resume at 1:20 after lunch with the Protec Shock Sports Specials Championship. But let's now head down to Parc Ferme, and we'll hear from Danny Andrew, who's with Matt Suckling.
Thanks very much, Ian. Yep, down here with our race winner from that Ma7da 7 race, which is Danny Andrew. Danny, you look quite comfortable out front. Just what you needed to win for this championship this year.
Yeah, I think we had a fair bit of pace, and then when the rain came down with the gap, you just back off a little bit, start changing a little bit earlier, but and managing the gap. But no, it was good. I need another one of those to guarantee it, I think, from my mathematics, but I'm not even sure where Ben finished, whether we got second or third, but I think I still need another win to guarantee.
It seems to be going your way at the minute. The Snetterton circuit seems to be suiting you quite well. In terms of Ben, he did just lose out to second place on the line, so he's down to third in that one.
Yeah, we dropped scores. It makes it a little bit more complicated, which I'm not a fan of, but they're the rules. But no, we did well. The car was good. It was good all day Friday. So another one of them this afternoon.
Are you going to be calculating what goes through the second race and seeing where you need to finish and all that sort of thing, or just go out and try and win it?
I think it makes it too difficult. You go out and win. I think we've got the pace to do it, so I think you just go out, try and win, and it doesn't matter what anyone else does then.
We'll see how it goes. Good luck, Danny.
Thank you.
There we go, Danny Andrew with the win there. Let's try and grab a quick word with second and third as we have time with the qualifying session come up. Let's try and grab Ben Powney, who's in the garage. I think we're working here, and also Dan as well, who finished in second. Dan and Ben, can you come and join us out in the Parc Ferme area, and I'll have a quick chat with you as well. Dan Sibbons finishing in second place. That was a great drag to the line there. Just pit Ben there in second place. Well done.
Yeah, I think he missed a gear, which helped me out a little bit. But yeah, it was getting a bit slippy towards the end, so it was just mainly keeping it on the track and not making any mistakes. So yeah, it was good. Good race. I'm happy.
In terms of this year so far, how do you think it's gone? You happy with the season?
Yeah, this my first full season in car racing really. So yeah, I'm well pleased, and hopefully I can come back next year and do a little bit better, maybe challenge Ben and Danny a bit more.
Is that in the back of your mind this weekend? You know that Ben and Danny are both going for a championship, so you just got to try and put all the pressure on and try and get a win. Yeah,
I've got nothing to lose really. I'll just go for it, and as long as I don't get any damage, I'm happy. Yeah.
All to play for, of course, with a win in the second race of the weekend. Looking forward to it.
Yep, I'm going to try my best.
Good stuff. Well done, Dan. Thank you very much indeed. And we'll join Ben as well, who's down here. Ben, it's one of those weekends at the minute. You're looking at the championship. You need a good result. I think that the second start went better for you than the first one, didn't it?
Yeah, got a load of wheel spin. I think there was probably some, looked like there's some oil or something down on the track after the race before us. And yeah, I just didn't go anywhere, but made up for it in the end. And I think it probably would have been all right. And yeah, we'll see how the next one goes, I guess.
What happened towards the line? Did you miss a gear to the checker flag?
No, probably it was starting to spit. I don't know if you felt it here, but it felt like it was starting to get just a bit greasier through the race, and I just lit it up a bit too much, a bit over-eager coming out of the last corner, and I think that was just enough for Dan to get us over the line, wasn't it? So yeah, I need Josh on like an in-car radio. We're doing the championship points, because I think it's going to be pretty bloody close now.
Yeah, they're working it out. They're doing the spreadsheets. They're keeping an eye on it for you and Danny as well. So it's going to be close towards that second race. Busy weekend as well for you with the F1000 also to kind of compete in.
Yeah, it has been, yeah. The next race, I think, is back-to-back. It's literally the F1000 and then straight in for the Ma7da. So I've got some thinking to do, and I'm going to be starting from the back of the grid in the F1000 as well. So don't quite know what to do yet, but yeah, we're just going to have some fun, I think, and what will be will be.
And very quickly, what happened in the F1000 race earlier on?
My throttle stuck open on the green flag lap. So yeah, tried and moved everything, but no joy, unfortunately.
Well, thanks, Ben. Good luck for the second race.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.
There we go. Ben Powney finishing in third place. Second place for Dan Sibbons. And Danny Andrew taking the first win in Ma7da here today at Snetterton. More to come from them a little bit later on. But in the meantime, as Ian and Josh said, we've got a qualifying session to look forward to with the 116 trophy.